Okay, so I just watched the video which was up on the BBC site. I didn't actually see it on the BBC because I'm in Toronto right now. Thought I'd made this clear, but apparently not. I was extremely busy. The last week I was in Toronto for the YouTube gathering, which kind of takes up a lot of time. And on top of that, the internet would not work at our apartment. We got the apartment we rented on the proviso that it had the internet. That was kind of one of the biggest selling points for it, but it didn't. So way to go, shitty apartment. But therefore I couldn't get online as much as I would like to. I was also extremely busy, I'm not gonna lie. I was very busy having a good time. And now I'm in Ottawa. I finally managed to get on the internet. I've watched the new episode on the BBC, and I'm kind of annoyed with them. I'm annoyed that I didn't get the opportunity to kind of reply and respond to some of the stuff that was going on, and to say, actually, I don't know where you got this idea from, but there is going to be a German part, there is going to be a character called Gus, and either his mother or a girlfriend character. There is going to be a team filming in Germany, there is going to be this whole thing, and the stuff that people have worked on, not all of it's going to go in the film, because it can't, because you can't have like, oh, all the zombies are slow, and then like have a scene where they're randomly fast, unless you want to have like a stupid thing that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that rather than me getting the opportunity to actually kind of sort things out, it was just sort of taken out of my hands by the kind of BBC thing, and just like made into a huge deal. A lot of the people that have worked on the film writing have got really upset. A lot of the people that want to write, that weren't kind of involved with that initial team, are also upset. A lot of people that have written stuff that think it's not been included are upset. So basically everyone's really pissed off. I just wanted to kind of clear up, it's not like there's some kind of conspiracy of like, I'm going to pick my favourite people and they're going to write the film. It just kind of happened like that. It seemed like, oh, this is working fine. I've always held it close to my heart that the whole point of this project is that if somebody wants to get involved, then they can. And I still hold that as something that should be true, but as it's going on, as the project's kind of developing and evolving, it seems like, well, you know what, it's very hard to do something where 30 odd people are writing something. It's extremely hard to coordinate that many people and get something coherent together. So I'm just kind of seeing how it works out. I think I'm going to put Meg maybe in charge of like writing stuff. And not in charge of writing, but just in charge of kind of wrangling the writing team, trying to get people all on the same page. And also I'm thinking of figuring out who should maybe be kind of like in charge of music, and someone else who should be in charge of other bits and pieces. And, you know, like, that doesn't make sense. Like someone who'll be like the director of music, somebody else who'll be the director of special effects, and then those people will be the people to kind of like sort out when somebody contacts me and says, oh, I want to be, you know, I want to help write music, then they can kind of be directed to that specific person, and then they can help them out, and then they can like all write music together at the appropriate time. And I think, you know, there are a lot of people that have been getting very annoyed with me specifically, but with the project as a whole. But I know I've been absent, I am away, and I'm sorry that people didn't kind of realise that. And that I know that that's been a big kind of issue with writing the film and on the forum in general, and I'm sorry about that, but there's not really anything I could do about it, aside from, you know, the internet wasn't working where we were staying. It should be working from now on. I should have a lot more time, but, you know, I can't be there for every decision. Another thing I really hope people can hopefully understand is that whilst, yes, the writing is a big thing, there are a lot of other things that I need to deal with in life, but specifically to do with the film. There is, you know, there's the writing, obviously, there's the casting, there is the figuring out what we're going to film, there's a figuring out who's going to film, like, things and direct it, who's going to edit, who's going to do special effects, how are we going to kind of promote the film, are we going to have distributors, are we going to be able to like have permission to film things? Are we going to have, what kind of music are we going to use? There's so many things to deal with that, yes, while right now the biggest issue is the writing, there are all these other things that I'm trying to get done at the same time, so that once we start filming, everything's kind of flowing and we don't have this big backlog of stuff. So whilst it might seem like I'm not doing anything, I definitely am. I'm definitely like working on a shitload of things at the same time, and I'm sorry that it's not coming across and you can't kind of see what I'm doing, but I don't know, you're just gonna have to kind of take it on trust that I am working hard on this. What else? Yeah, so basically I'm kind of irritated with the BBC that they didn't let me respond to things and not make them a big deal. They kind of made them a big deal when they didn't need to be. They kind of were like, oh, well, this person's pissed off, let's give them a big platform to be pissed off to the whole world, which is not really fair, I don't think, to the project and to the other people that are working on the thing. I don't think it's fair that people have been pissed off with the people who've written what's written so far and who are taking it like, oh, this has happened and now the whole script is like, we don't have this, we don't have that. And it's like, well, if you want to fucking change things, then you are welcome to change them. Go right ahead, change them and see what happens and what you know, it's a evolving thing. It's not set in stone until like the point where it's set in stone, where it's like as many people as possible are happy with it. The thing is, not everyone's going to be happy with it. People are going to have parts of this script left out. People are going to have characters they like left out, just because, you know, you can't have everything in the script. You can't have everything in the film. You can't have, like I said, fast zombies and slow zombies. You can't have ones that are radioactive and like virus. Or maybe you can, I don't know. Like, but you can't have everything. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think that you know, people for the majority do realise that not everything people want is going to happen in the film. But I don't know, I'm very tired of every time I manage to like use the forum or I actually manage to check my emails, everyone's just really pissed off or upset or, you know, crying or something like that. And I don't know how I'm supposed to kind of not piss everyone off. And it's in my nature to try and please everyone, but it seems like nobody's pleased. Everyone's just pissed off with me. Or if they're not pissed off with me, they're pissed off with someone else, and then I feel really guilty. And it's very kind of difficult to deal with. I'm sorry about the like weird wobbling around of this camera. It's because I'm holding my laptop at a weird angle. Yeah, I don't know, there was some other stuff that I wanted to talk about, but basically I wanted to say, please don't panic. If you want to, like, it's always been the mantra of this project to me that if you want to get involved with the project, you can. But I think maybe it needs to be revised to, you can get involved in some way, but not necessarily in the way that you wish. You know, there is only so many people that can write a film at once, I think. It's seeming to me. And, you know, people knew this when I started making the film, that I've not done this before. And I don't think anybody's done this before. So it's all a learning process for everyone. And therefore, you know, I can't go, oh, well, this is the way you should do it, therefore I'll follow this pattern, because that doesn't exist. We're kind of the pioneers of this, as far as I know. And I know that there's other kind of projects out there that have used the internet and are trying to do similar things, but as far as I know, this is the first instance where I've kind of seen it, of a completely novice filmmaker, which I held my hands up and here you go, I'm holding my hands up, and admit to being, you know, I'm a novice filmmaker. I've made videos on YouTube, I haven't directed a film before, and other people from the internet trying to get together to make a film, and that's what we're still trying to do. I'm sorry that people are pissed off. Hopefully people kind of understand a bit more from this video, but I can never tell. Probably not. People will still be really angry because that's just how it is, and there's always going to be some people that are very angry, and I don't know, I think I'm probably more used to it from YouTube and from this is such a long video, I'm sorry.